Hey guys, I'm Nikki.
And I'm Gabby.
We want to do our push notification shout out.
And we also want to announce our college giveaway winner. But hold up, I know what everyone's thinking right now that we didn't even address yet. Her hair! Oh my god! Everyone's probably like, is that a wig? Like what?
It's an adjustment. And also comment down below right now if I should go reddish brown. I really want an auburn like Demi Lovato circa 2011 hair. So let me know. The winner of our college giveaway is My Sweet Creations. She has the same user on YouTube and on Instagram, and I love your feed. I creeped on your Instagram.
I was just gonna say that. Gold.
Post notification shout out goes to Josephine Andrea. And if you want to have a chance to have a shout out in the next video, all you need to do is put the bell on. And if you guys don't know how to turn the bell on, all you have to do is go to our channel, and where the subscribe button is, there's a bell right next to it. You click that, and then you just click turn on all notifications, and you also have to be subscribed. So from our X Factor Storytime video, we saw that you guys love that kind of video, and we're like, you know what, there's this one video that you guys always request that we've been kind of avoiding because it's hard to talk about, and we're actually finally going to address it and incorporate it into our back to school series because I feel like you guys need to hear this. I feel like there's a lot of positive back to school videos, and there's a lot of DIYs, expectations versus reality, and like all this fun stuff. And I know that those of you guys that are scared to go back to school are scared not just because of the schoolwork and the classes, but because of the classmates. A lot of you guys said in our X Factor video that felt like we were really talking to you guys and you really got to know the real us. So we figured after almost 5 years of having this channel, we're finally going to talk about our bullying story that we've always talked about or touched on in other videos.
And before we get started on the story, I just want to let you guys know that this isn't like, oh, we became YouTubers and now we're all of a sudden we were bullied. Like,
no.
Those of you who could who have the time to even scroll all the way back
to our old videos,
old Twitter, that you know this is a huge topic we always talk about.
We were very bullied. And we're gonna get into that and like the effects it had on us.
Our bully story starts all the way back to when we were in 7th grade.
7th grade has like, when I hear that, it has like that ring to it because it's like, that's where it all started.
The year.
Gabby and I, because there's two of us and we're sisters and we're twins, she would make a group of friends and I would make a group of friends, and together we'd have a huge group of friends.
It's always been that way.
It was always that way. And so I don't even know how to, okay, everyone was friends in elementary school. Then we get to middle school and there's like the popular girls, and there were me and Gabby and our friends who were like the normal ones that
acted our age.
Yeah.
Things 7th graders do.
Yeah, and like,
and then there was the sporty girls.
The sporty girls. Yeah, there was the clique started forming in 6th grade.
It all started when Nikki and I had this big group of friends. Like Nikki said, she had her friends, I had my friends. We got together, made a big group of friends, and pretty much I made friends with one of the popular girls that hung out with the guys. We became best friends, but I wasn't a part of that group. And Nikki became friends with her too because I was friends with her. So we're gonna say this girl's name's C. Nikki and I both had this friend, and I guess the girls in our...
We'll call this friend Jay, because Jay is the one that ruined our lives.
Jay ruined our lives.
She literally ruined our lives in 7th grade. She started this all. So C is the popular girl Gabby became friends with, and Jay is Gabby and I's best friend who
was in our massive friend
group, but she was closer to me. So I had an AIM profile at the time. If you guys are old enough now to know what that was, it was an instant messaging social media. It was before MySpace, Instagram. And I've seen a lot of Instagrams today where girls in middle school are like listing their friends in their bio.
Like their friends' initials.
Their friends' initials.
I think it's very cliquey, by the way.
Well, on AIM, that's what everybody did. They would like list their friends, and I was really excited. Gabby was making this new friend, C, and I put C ahead of J on my list of friends in my AIM profile, as stupid as this sounds. And I got in my first cyber fight over AIM with J, and she was like making fun of me being short. She was making fun of me being bigger. She was saying that I was dramatic, and like she was new to the school last year, and we kindly took her in our friend group. She was like all this like really quiet girl. She was like basically saying all these repressed emotions. I didn't know she felt this way about me, all because I put someone ahead of her in a profile. And I was like, I remember for the first time ever sitting at a computer and my heart dropping and like crying, and my mom came in and she didn't know what to do, and Jay was AIMing me so fast and I couldn't come up with comebacks that fast. I was just sitting there crying, and my mom was trying to type for me. It was like really
I remember
sad.
this because I shared a room with Nikki. She's on the computer and I came in. I didn't know what was going on. She's like sitting there crying. My mom's typing. She's like, I'm printing these out. I'm taking this to the principal. This is awful. Like,
It was so mean. I thought at the time, like, I was really upset, but I thought this had to blow over because I've never been in a fight like this with somebody. I've never been in a fight like this with any of my friends. I thought, okay, we're gonna go to school, everything's gonna be fine. Well, we go to school, I see her in the hallway, and she literally doesn't even look at me, and my other friends aren't looking at me, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Gabby noticed it too, and
yeah, they were, the thing with Nikki and I, because we're twins, if something happened with her and someone, they would blend me in with her.
We met up in the bathroom, I remember this, in the like basement bathroom, and you were like, what is going on? Like, what happened? Because I didn't tell you the extent of the fight. Remember, I didn't tell you the details. Then it's lunchtime, and our big group of like 10 girls, there was only like 5 girls sitting with us, and I thought this had to be temporary. That's all I kept thinking, was this had to be temporary. I didn't know what was going on. We asked our friend A, who wasn't really in our group of friends.
She was in like the sporty girls.
But like, she was always like super nice, but like Jay was hanging out with her a lot. So A told us that Jay printed out the entire AAM conversation and was showing everybody and all our friends and trying to get them all to turn against me, saying, look what Nikki was saying.
They're friends with a popular girl now, so they don't need us anymore.
Yeah.
Like, just because they're friends with a popular girl now, like, they think that she's better than us, and like, it was just ridiculous stuff she was saying.
So basically, Jay had the same idea my mom had, but instead of showing the principal, Jay was showing all our friends. So our friends were like turning their backs on us all in one day. I thought it had to blow over. I really thought it was gonna blow over. You did too.
Yeah, I didn't think it was permanent, and then all of a sudden, I had these 2 really close friends in like the 5 that were left over, and we were walking to the buses, and I see them walking ahead of me, and I run up to them to catch up, like, hey guys, and then they look at me, and then they start whispering, and then one of them comes back and goes, hey Gabby, I hate to say this, but like, we were talking, and we don't think we want to be friends with you anymore. Like, there's just a lot. Like, it's too much. Like, I'm sorry.
One by one, our friend group literally started dropping like flies. So give it a week, we lost those 2 friends out of the 6 that were even with us. All of a sudden, like, girls would just stop sitting at our lunch table. And before you know it, 2 months later, Gabby and I were not being invited to anything anymore. We sat at lunch alone, just me and Gabby with our trays at like a big circle table. Meanwhile, the whole CAF was filled with like full circle tables. It was
and the sad
us
part is because our friend group stopped sitting with us, the sporty table like grew. They had to drag all these tables over. Like, everyone was squeezing onto one table. It's like Nikki and I had cooties. Like,
yeah, it's like
clearly a big table.
There was clearly a full table with us, and we were nice, and like we wanted to like sit and like talk to people, but it almost became a trend to not like us. When you're at that age, everyone's so impressionable and just wants to be cool and wants to fit in. No one's gonna have the backbone to sit with the losers. So everybody like swarmed the sporty girl table. So basically our old friend group formed with the sporty girls, and they all sat at this huge table, like putting chairs, turning their trays sideways so that way they could all fit, like overcrowded.
It just looked ridiculous. It just looked so embarrassing to Nikki and I, because it's like,
because everyone knew clearly they all used to be our friends, and then me and Gabby were sitting alone at a table.
Even though it all started out with the AIM profile thing, to this day I do not know what was said to have her turn all of our friends on us like that. Friends that we made like 5 years
before
ago.
she even came to the school.
This girl was new the year before.
Yeah.
We were trying to be nice. We're like, hey, come into our friend group. And then she did that. Like, it still doesn't make sense in my head
still have
how
like
powerful she is.
That was some like power, because Gabby and I knew like we grew up with these girls. They weren't just girls that we happened to be friends with. It was a very close-knit 10-girl friend group from like 3rd grade to 7th grade, like 4 years. And we all like grew up together, and we would all have birthday parties together and have sleepovers every weekend. And then all of a sudden they just didn't want to talk to us anymore. Our mom was confused too, because she was friends with all those moms, and those moms stopped talking to my mom because their daughters didn't want to be friends with us anymore. It was like the first time we ever felt betrayal and embarrassment and self-hate. I feel like we started to eventually hate ourselves too, because everyone hated us.
Even like the exterior people that like weren't a part of our friend group wouldn't talk to us either.
Because it was just like, we still to this day don't really know what was being said.
Yeah.
But just to be in the blue like that and not know like what's wrong with you, why do people not like you all of a sudden, it was literally awful.
I remember I didn't think it was that serious until it was like 2 months in, and like these girls that I used to sit with in this one class were all sitting together whispering. There was 3 of them, and it was English, and it's my favorite class, and I had to give a speech about Shakespeare, and that's, as you guys know, it's like my favorite thing ever. And I'm getting all into it, and I'm explaining everything. All of a sudden I hear all these little giggles in the side of the classroom, and I'm like,
They were our ex-friends.
They were our best friends. They were laughing at me, and in the middle of the presentation, my face went white, and I looked at the teacher, and I went up to his desk, and I said, I can't do this. I can't do this. He's like, you're gonna have to do this or you're gonna fail. Like, you have to do this. I'm like, I can't do this. And I went to the nurse, and I said I was sick, and I went home. And they still continued to laugh at me, and in front of the class, I like went up to them, and I said, that's not funny. And I walked out.
I remember that. They're awful. Girls are awful. And it got to the point where like teachers weren't doing anything. And like clearly like my parents saw a big decline in Gabby and I because we're naturally happy kids. Our parents saw us literally get home from school, go right to our rooms and cry.
To the point where we had nowhere to go on the weekends. Usually on the weekends kids like go to friends' house, have play dates, like we would just go home.
So I remember riding home, sitting alone on the bus, and Gabby wasn't in school that day. And whenever Gabby would be homesick, my mom would make me go because she didn't want 2 girls home. So like that would be even worse because I didn't have Gabby. So like I would literally have to face the day alone. And I remember this was one of the days Gabby wasn't at school, and I was sitting on the bus on the ride home, and I literally was thinking, I'm not pretty. The guys joined in on the bullying and said we were hairy because we like, you know, I guess hairy. Like we were just ugly, and
so we had mustaches.
Yeah, we were losers, and then all the girls hated us. So and then we were failing classes because of how depressed we were, and we were paying attention more towards the bullying than paying attention to the information in class.
One of the bullies' moms was a teacher.
One of the bullies' moms was a teacher. Our grades were going like this. We had no friends, and I remember sitting on the bus thinking, I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, I don't have friends. Why am I even alive? I was 12.
She was 11 or 12 thinking that. And she didn't even know, like, she didn't know suicide was a thing back then. Like, I know 12-year-olds now know what that is and stuff, but back then the internet didn't expose that kind of stuff.
I literally got off the bus and I, like, went to my room, and, like, instead of crying, I was just, like, laying there. And my mom comes in, she's like, what's wrong? And I said, I have a question. And she sat on the bed, and I said, I'm not pretty, I'm not smart, I don't have friends. Why am I alive?
It was all anxiety. My stomach was just in knots every day.
Bullying started in September, October, and this was around December, early December.
We had like the worst Christmas break ever. I remember that was the last time we saw our best friend in that friend group. She didn't pick up our calls that entire Christmas break. Her mom had to call our mom and apologize. She was like, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could tell you. And my mom's like, these girls are heartbroken.
And at the time, you can't be objective and look at the picture as a whole. You really think it's the end of the world. We never thought it was an option to leave the school, but my mom took Gabby and I out to lunch at Panera with our cousin, who we got really close to at the time. We literally wouldn't have gotten through this without our cousin Jenna and my older sister Alex and Gabby. We were really close to our family.
So we're at Panera, and I guess my mom was talking to Jenna, and our cousin Jenna went to another school in the area, and we're very close in age. She's a year old. She was a grade above us. Mm-hmm. And my mom goes, so Jenna and I have been talking, and we came up with this amazing idea, like, what if you guys transferred schools and went to Jenna's school?
And right away, like, we didn't even hesitate. Me and Gabby looked at each other, and we were like, there was finally light at the end of the tunnel. We were like,
there was like an answer.
We didn't think, I don't know why, but I think now obviously like when you get older you realize there's more solutions, but like for some reason we thought we were just stuck there because we were at that school like our whole lives, so like we didn't know it was a possibility to be new girls and start over and make new friends. We visited the other school that our cousin Jenna went to. Right away, the first day, we made like all these friends, and all these guys gave us their numbers on pieces of paper.
We came home with pockets full of like numbers.
After visiting that school, we started getting invited by those kids from that school to like go to the movies and go to the mall, and we finally had plans on the weekends, and my mom knew she had to pull us out. So that was an emotional day, our last day at that school.
So every year, Nikki and I have been singing since we were little. We've been in every school show, talent show, you name it. And when it came time to auditioning for the talent show that January, my mom's like, so what are you guys doing for the talent show? And Nikki and I looked at each other and looked at my mom and we're like,
we're not doing it. We're not cool. Everyone would boo us.
Everyone
if we
would
went
make fun of us when we go on stage.
When we knew we were officially leaving schools, we knew we didn't care what people thought. We didn't care our social status. We didn't care that we sat alone. Gabby and I love singing together, and we said, hey, you know what?
let's audition and let's sing Chemicals React by Allie and AJ.
Shout out to Allie and AJ, they have a new single.
I know, they're our friends now, which that's
so
crazy.
weird.
We auditioned with Chemicals React, and all the mean girls were like doing this like dance to, what was it?
Please don't stop.
Please Don't Stop the Music by Rihanna. And they're like in pink shorts, like, and come talent show night, our whole family comes. They all know it's our last day at that school. It was emotional for my family seeing me and Gabby like leave that school. So we sang our song, and I'll put a little clip inserted right now from the talent show.
The cute part was that our new friends from our new school went to that show.
They did. Our new friends that are from the school that we were gonna transfer to, like, showed up for moral support knowing we were leaving and that we were bullied. And
FYI, one of the first friends we made at our new school is Thomas.
Who's in our...
He's in our spring break series and summer break series. We are best friends.
And my friend Danielle, who you guys saw in my LA vlog, she came and visited me. But anyways, we performed Chemicals React. Then we left the school and everything went up from there until high school. I feel like bullying, I don't know, it follows us. I don't like to say that we cause it because Gabby and I always mind our own business.
We're really easy targets because we don't like speak up.
And I think we're easy targets because we like to be different, and when kids all want to conform and be the same and they see two twin girls trying to be different, it's easy to make fun of them.
Like, we were never those sporty girls. We never did sports. We never were like those academic AP people. We were never...
We were kind of like B students, and we were theatrical.
And we made videos.
So
that's
like,
all we would do.
It was just easy to make fun of. Senior year, when the bullying hit again...
It's bizarre. You wouldn't think that would happen senior year.
No, it was almost worse this time around because it felt like we're never going to escape it. And we were having an identity crisis because we didn't know what we wanted to do with our lives senior year, on top of dealing with the hate we were getting from our friends. I don't really want to get into the senior year bullying because it's kind of a very similar. It was like we had a huge group of friends freshman year, and then they all left us because we weren't cool anymore because we made videos and
This
we were
is when
different.
we were making 0 We Make Girl videos.
Yeah.
I truly think that's the reason why we became uncool and people would make fun of us.
Yeah.
It was to the point where people would...
Teachers would watch our videos in class with the student council. Like, the bullies were the school.
Yeah, like, again, senior year, we never did anything. Like, we never went to school functions. We never, like, went to football games. Like,
We would just make videos.
our yard would get forked. Pumpkins would be thrown at our friends'
Wait, our yard
cars.
did get forked. We had to go through the yard and pick out all the forks.
My dad had to install cameras around our house because
Yeah.
our house was getting, like, really, what's the word? Vandalized.
Vandalism. We got egged. Like, it was crazy.
We got egged on the daily, which is pretty sad.
I know. I actually, for the first time, like, had those feelings I had in 7th grade, except I knew what everything was now, and it was more serious because I guess you're older, and I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I didn't want a normal job. I just had this dream, and I didn't think it was possible, and we had no friends, and I just, like, literally was doing harmful things to myself, and I can't believe I'm saying this on this channel.
No,
but
yeah, I remember
when
that.
I started this channel, the very first video on this channel was my Demi Lovato inspired curls. I made that video while I was doing harmful things to myself, and I've never said that in a video. And you guys can only imagine, you guys know what I'm talking about. I had to wear long sleeves to cheer practice. As awful as my breakup was, and as terrible as it ended, I can never fully dislike this one person that you all know that I'm talking about, because he saved me from myself, and I'll always
he, like,
be
stood up
thankful.
to bullies and yelled at them for us.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I know,
It made them cry.
He was a big reason that senior year wasn't so bad. So thank you.
My boyfriend at that time was cheating on me,
And I didn't know it, but all the bullies knew it, and I walked around acting like I had no idea. How embarrassing.
But then we graduated high school. We're in contact with nobody from high school anymore.
Thomas is like the only friend, Thomas and Danielle
are like our
only
childhood
we
friends.
came out of high school.
Yeah. College was obviously an amazing experience for us. We made a lot of friends. No bullying, thank God.
College is just amazing.
Everyone accepts you for who you are. There are theater majors, TV film majors. There's people like you. You're not weird if you like weird stuff.
I was friends with all different kinds of people. In college, it is just so mature, and everyone's just working to better themselves, and no one's working to make other people feel bad.
And we did us, and we did YouTube, and look where that's gotten us. And I just hope that this story, it was a long one, but I hope that it showed you guys who are going back to school, don't worry, because whatever happens throughout the year, if bad is coming, it's happening for a reason. If we weren't bullied senior year, we wouldn't have made a YouTube channel.
Oh my
I am
God.
so happy we made a YouTube channel.
There were times where I'm like, maybe I should stop so I could have friends.
Like, you never know. You have to take what life gives you and make lemonade. Like, seriously. If you're in a bad position, like, literally just try to make the best of it. Like, use that time to get close to your parents, to your family. Use that time to find a hobby or to improve yourself or make something of yourself. Make a YouTube channel.
If you're going through something similar to this, I hope you learn from it. Like, I never in a million years thought like switching schools was an option, but I will tell you that saved like
It saved
our
us.
lives.
It saved us. And like, that sounds so dramatic, but like,
It really did.
it did.
I'm just so excited to let them in on something like we never spoke up
Yeah.
about. Like, I'm gonna tell you, there's probably gonna be a comment here or there saying, oh my God, so dramatic. This is huge stuff. This is a big deal.
Your life is friends in school. From like kindergarten through 8th grade. So it was hard. But I don't want to drag this video on any longer. Let us know if you guys want to do more story times. We're just listening to you guys.
I think that's it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a little different.
I
but
know.
Let us know down below if you guys are going through anything. And let's make the comment section down below, everybody like helping each other out. Like, make it like
Yeah.
a forum. If you're being bullied, comment down below your story.
Or
and
if you need advice.
if you guys have any advice, respond and help them. Like, everybody help each other out. And we'll try to respond to comments too. This was our personal back to school video.
I know. Let us know in the comments if you want to see more videos like this one.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.